So I heard that there was this explosion at a nuclear plant in Tokyo that had toxic waste leaking into the bay.
Oh, no, I didn't hear that, but I did hear some animals escaped a robotics lab. Mm-hmm. What?
This just in, folks. Giant monsters are heading their way to Orleans, Ottawa, Canada. Military advisors are advising everybody to stay inside their homes.
What is that?
Hi there everyone, welcome back to the table, and I know what you're thinking. What a mess this is. Usually the monsters make a mess after they go into the city, not beforehand, right? Well, today we're going to be looking at a bit of a modern twist on a cult classic, the Monster movie. Ladies and gentlemen, for your entertainment, for your viewing pleasure, I bring you King of Tokyo! In this game, you play as a monster trying to become King of Tokyo, as the name of the game would suggest. I know, shocking, right? In order to achieve your status as the top dog in Tokyo, you must achieve either 20 victory points or massacre your opponents in a violent, deadly bloodbath. And oh my god, is this game enjoyable. So let's not waste too much time. Let's dive in and take a look at the setup. At the table, you have the city of Tokyo, and it must be placed in the middle of the table. Not to the left, not to the right, not forwards nor backwards, but in the middle. And not some arbitrary, approximation of the middle. Take out a tape measure and figure it out if you have to. You'll notice that there are two spaces, Tokyo City and Tokyo Bay. For our intents and purposes, for a 2 to 4 player game, we're only going to use Tokyo City. In a 5 to 6 player game, you would use Tokyo Bay as well. They operate basically the same way. Each player then selects their monster. Once each player has selected their monsters, they must pick up the corresponding monster card, indicating victory points at the top, and their health at the bottom. Each monster will set their health to 10, and their victory points, as indicated by the stars, to 0. You can't start off winning the game before you even play. That's cheating. Only I may do that. And Jess when she wins. After that, you're going to take the 6 black die, set them down like so. You're going to take your 2 extra green die, set them off to the side, separate your energy cubes, and take your deck of cards, give them a nice little shuffle, like so, taking the top 3 to create a purchase row that'll be used throughout the game, and you'll want to separate your tokens. And we have tokens for Poison Spit, Smoke Cloud, Shrink Ray, and Mimic. Now those cards are going to be shuffled into the deck. I'm just separating them aside so you know what the tokens look like when you come upon the card. Alright. Smashy smashy! So the game progresses over a series of phases. There are 5 phases in total, and we're going to work through each one of them as we go, and I'll explain to you a little bit about what's happening in each phase as we get there. So in order to determine which player is going first, you are going to have to roll your 6 black die, like so. The player with the most number of smack attacks, as indicated by the claw symbol here, will be the one to go first. Now you'll notice there are a few die faces that are happening here. So let's take a quick look and see what each one of those means before we go too far forward. As I explained already, the claw is the smack attack. Now that will deal 1 damage to every monster inside Tokyo, or if you're inside Tokyo, it will deal 1 damage to every monster outside of Tokyo. So very, very powerful. This is how you do the killing. You have your heart symbol. This heals you 1 point of damage for each heart you roll. However, you cannot heal if you're inside Tokyo. Lightning bolts. These help you get those green energy cubes that I indicated earlier, and you need these cubes to help you buy power cards to help enhance your monster and make them stronger. We have the numbers indicated by a 1, 2, and 3. These numbers represent victory points that you can gain simply through dice rolling. You must get at least 3 of a kind in order to score the corresponding number of points. Say, for example, I rolled 3 threes. Well, I'm guaranteed 3 victory points. However, I gain 1 additional victory point for each 3 I roll after that. So if I rolled 4 threes, for example, I would get 4 victory points, and so on and so forth until you run out of dice to roll. Alright. Well, there's nobody else here, so I win! Thanks for watching, everybody! I'm now King of Tokyo! Yay!
Yay! Ow. Ow.
So we're just going to show you a couple of quick turn examples here so you get the sense of how the game plays. It's very, very easy though. So I got 2 threes, I'm going to keep those. Smack attacks are pointless because we're both outside of Tokyo to start. Hearts are useless, and so is the 2. So I'm going to re-roll again. Oh, 3 energy, I'm going to keep that. And I'm going to put these 2 threes back. Ah, perfect. Alright, so I got 1 3, 1 smack attack, and 4 energy cubes. So I'm going to take my 4 energy cubes now, and the lone 3 doesn't do me any good. Since you can't attack monsters that share the same space as you, this smack attack won't do anything. Now we enter the Enter Tokyo phase, so I must enter the city. When you do enter Tokyo though, you gain a victory point! Yay! So I'm already at 1. Now if I manage to survive 1 full turn of the table, I get 2 victory points for each turn I survive. But remember, when you're in Tokyo, you can't heal. So, use that at your discretion. I think that there isn't really too much out there that I want to buy except for energy drink. Now, energy drink is going to let me spend 1 energy to get 1 extra die roll, and anytime any card effect says that you roll 1 extra die, you just roll these green dice. As soon as a card is purchased, it gets replenished like that, and it's end of turn. So I simply pass the dice over to Jess, and smashy smashy. Yeah, you think you're so clever, don't you? That's a terrible roll. That's awful.
Yeah, it is. But, you know. Ow. Ha oh man. Crap.
Well,
Alright,
you whiffed on 2 of them.
Yeah, so I've got 2 of those and I deal 2 smack attacks.
So I'm now down to 8. Now at this point, because I've taken damage, I have the option of yielding Tokyo if I want. At that point, Jess, being the active player, must then enter Tokyo on that phase. On the Enter Tokyo phase. Makes sense, right? I didn't really take too much damage, so I think I'm going to stick around. I'm not going to bother yielding Tokyo. But this is the time that you have to decide. You can't wait till the beginning of your turn to decide if you're going to yield Tokyo or not. Not allowed. It's got to be done after you take damage. Before I roll my dice, because I survived one full round of the table, I gain another 2 victory points. So now I'm at 3 victory points. Dice roll! Well, the heart's useless. I'll take those 2 energy though, and let's try those 2 victory points. Bang! 1 energy, and let's reroll all of these. Alright, so I got 1 smack attack, so she's gonna lose 1 health. I'm gonna gain 3 energy. And those 2 2s don't really help me too much, so they're just gonna stay right there. And I'm gonna take my 3 energy cubes and I'm gonna buy National Guard, which is a discard card. That means I get 2 victory points, but I lose 2 health. But that's it, folks. Nice and simple, right? You just vie for control, killing each other slowly, you're rolling to get victory points. But other than that, that's it. We'll see y'all next time.